off. It's like it's a blast off.
We've blasted off. We're live. We're live with
We're
Next
live.
Chapter Collective in the ageless studios. We could be any age. There's no age. We just glow with our Zoom lights, with our natural illuminating beauty. So I
That's
have
literally.
you, beautiful and incredible Emily Wagner, who I can't wait to get to know more and more, who I've already heard so much about and already have so much respect for. So you're working on this digital workbook, which we're going to really go into as we chat, the September issue, on this antidote on the over-processed idea that is completely targeted to me on Instagram, midlife reinvention and what that looks like. So I'm excited for you to take people on that journey, at least to start it. Phase one of this September issue edit. And then just these incredible reminders on what this time in our life looks like. Now, I do have to mention, and I'm just learning, just talking to you, you've been an artist, an actress, you have this micropause vitamin company, Substack, Groomed, you teach classes that I still haven't taken yet and I can't wait to take. So I'm probably even missing anything, but you do so many things. And so you are like the energizer bunny with purpose and heart. And it's incredible. And I feel like I wish there were more people in the world like you. So with that,
Introduction. Well, on that note, I so the reinvention obsession. I'm like, I've had so many reinventions at this point. I could literally qualify for like a witness protection program. Like I've been reinventing that. My life is reinvention. So that's when we want to circle. I'm happy to dive into that idea because this is kind of like a
no, this
midlife
is all
podcast.
about reinvention. And even when I was writing myself notes on your bio, I'm like, oh my God, she's done so many different things, and I'm sure so many other things. And that's a big part of Next Chapter Collective is there isn't just one thing to do in life. You don't have to just go to law school and be a lawyer, even though that's great. I think there are many paths and many pivots. And so I thought you'd be the perfect person to talk to. And in that, like you have so many creative lanes from artist to creative to filmmaker to actress and now this reinvention and midlife. Like, can you walk us through a couple things you're working on now that you're building that you're super excited about and
Yeah.
I want to hear about them.
Well, 100%. I think that, we're in this is a midlife sort of podcast. We're in this story. We're getting fed so many stories about midlife reinvention and next chapter and pivots. And by the way, when I started Micropause, this is like a wellness supplement gummies for women in midlife, perimenopause, menopause. I really did lead with that. I'm like, I call it the give zero FUKS era. We're in that era, which we are. But I talked about like midlife reinvention, like this is the opportunity to try something new and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, years and years of that story. And then it just kind of occurred to me recently. When I have so Groomed LA is this like health and wellness blog. I started it when I was like 40. I'm 59, so I can't even do the math, but I started a really long time ago. Um, it's evolved with me. I just moved it to Substack. So when I just kind of moved to Substack, I thought, oh, what can I offer people? You want people to subscribe. I'm like, I'll make the annual so cheap, $50, but let me give them some value. I'll put my workout videos. I'm a trainer. I've been training since I was 18. I've never stopped. We'll put that. I'm like, what else can I offer? Because even with Micropause, when you buy gummies, you get an automatic download. Here's like a midlife fitness upgrade. I have all these like fun downloads that I'm giving for free to
Which
subscribers
is
all the time.
amazing.
I love making them and I have them on my Instagram. You can like download them for free and stuff like intuitive eating, different things that I've come across in my millions of years of being a trainer and
Millions, millions.
literally millions of working with women, especially now all my clients are in midlife. So I was like, what can I offer? I'm like, I was looking at all my old content and workbooks and that, and then it was coming to be September, and everyone's getting the September issue of Vogue and the September issue, and I'm like, oh God, there's something so exciting about that name. I'm going to do something around September issue. It literally came to me just a few weeks ago, this September issue. This
Oh, it
idea,
just did? Well, it's so
it just
perfect.
came when everyone was talking about September issue of Vogue and Vanity Fair. They're on the cover. I'm like, oh man, the excitement, the ushering in of something new, and you put yourself into it. You project. You remember when you were kids and you open that teen mag, whatever it was, 17
The
or the
biggest
September
month.
issue. it was so thick and you're like, oh, am I going to be wearing a cardigan this year? You kind of find out what works, what you're editing in and what you're editing out. And I thought, that's a really cool way to look at this midlife rather than reinvention and starting over. It's the ushering in of something fresh. What am I going to clean out of my closet that I'm not wearing this season? What doesn't fit? What might be something that I bought it because everyone else had it? I was getting those Prada shoes because I thought they were cool because I saw them, but they really don't feel good. They're not me. So I kind of thought of this September issue. I'm going to make a workbook on this way to kind of do a little bit of an identity edit about who we are before we start reinventing. Because the truth is, there might be an amazing jumpsuit in the back that's been there for 30 years. That's, oh my God, that is me. I never wore it. My husband thought I looked bad in it. I never wore it because of this color. Everyone thinks it's not me. I didn't wear it because I couldn't wear something like this to work. Like, there's parts of ourselves in this metaphorical closet, the seasons, that might be something we need to mine before we start going, what is my pivot? Wait, do I need to switch careers? Everyone's talking about midlife
Also,
pivot.
yeah, all this, like, we don't have to switch careers. We don't even have to pivot. Like, people put so much pressure on themselves.
Yeah, and I started to get worried that people are starting to talk, there's the talk is so much about renew. I'm like, wait a minute, before, by the way, I love that idea, but you could do that when you're 50, you could do that when you're 18, you could do that when you're second year of college. Like, where am I? I want to reboot. We should always be rebooting. ABR. We should always be
We
reinventing.
are,
My
baby.
whole life is reinvention. So I thought, what if we were like reclaiming and kind of doing an audit, and there's so much to mine. I have so many friends who are like, oh yeah, I wanted to be a novelist, but like there's no way I could have sat around and write all day. Me too. Like, I could have been an artist, but I couldn't just paint all day. I needed a job. Like, there's parts of myself that I could pull, that people in, as their kids are going to college, maybe they're getting closer financially to being able to pull back of work a little bit. Maybe there's parts of themselves that were just like little pings, little inklings, like, I love poetry. Maybe I should take a poetry, that they didn't mind. So before we kind of get overwhelmed by this idea of reinvention, which feels a little bit scary,
It
like,
feels scary and intimidating, and that's one of the reasons
yeah,
you're doing what you're doing and I'm doing what I'm doing, and we have many other friends in common that are also in this lane, from beauty to wellness, work, job shadowing, whatever it is. We all need to support each other. I mean, it's just it shouldn't be this creepy thing where you're like, I'm not good enough. It needs to live.
those questions too of I'm not good enough, or I'm too much or not enough. Like, that was my whole thing in my whole life, was like, I got to play small because I have a lot of things that I do. Like, I love art, I love acting, I love directing, editing, painting, teaching. Like, I got a lot of stuff that I would play small because I'm like, people are going to think I'm freaking crazy. I can't stick in a lane. Like, I'm scattered, or like, we associate that with like ADHD, which by the way, I'm totally ADHD, but not when it comes to my art and my
Not maybe
talent.
not as ADHD as you, but I love it. We always make jokes. ADHD people always make jokes about, well, she's way more ADHD than
Yeah,
me.
but I mean like ADHD in the way, not like the fun personality and energetic. I mean in the way that like you can't land the plane. I
Yeah,
don't, and I was worried that people think like, no, I've gone the distance with everything, every ping as a painter. I mean, I'm in the Hammer Museum.
that's
I've had been on TV. I've had my movies at Sundance. Everything I've done, I go the distance. Like, it's not like I dabble and I'm a dabbler. So I would be embarrassed about it and literally playing small, like, oh yeah, I just kind of, I don't really do that anymore. Like, I don't know, like, stopping myself because people don't respect being a multiverse. People really feel more comfortable when they can put you in a place, because it's hard to understand someone who's that,
oh, my whole
you know,
life people are like, well, I did public relations for, I don't know, like 15 years. And so people are like, aren't you in PR? I'm like, I haven't done it in 20 years or something. I'm like, yeah, I was. I was. I guess I'll always have that. But you're absolutely right. People want to put you in one little box.
yeah, and it
And it's like,
doesn't
no,
bode
I've
well.
always done something
It
different. Yeah.
doesn't, and even for that, it just doesn't. People think you're not serious, or you're not. People don't. It's just not. It's just not great. And then I'm like, you know what? The heck with that. I'm going to own all the sides of me. Find the interplay between them. I'm not sitting here doing 600 things. Like, kind of narrow it down to like what real, and like in your questions that you had sent me something about authentic self and what feels true, and that's a big conversation because now I'm confused about the word authentic in general because it's become like an
It's
Instagrammable.
like saying the word amazing.
Yeah, I don't even know what it means, but
But
in terms of like for me being like being in my truth is admitting, yeah, I do this, I do that, I do all those things. I do them. I love them. I'm good at them. Like I feel good. I've made money in all of these things, and I'm always going to be doing more
and,
than one thing.
and Emily, maybe more than being authentic is your truth.
Yeah,
There was
yeah,
a quote that Katie Couric recently said that really resonated, which is what you're saying is as as we go through these different decades of life, don't ever get attached to one job. Because if you lose it, there's this whole thing now on like there's that book going around about like it's cool getting fired. Only the cool girls get fired.
yeah. Now we're in a whole place where it's like, people are
Get
saying you
fired and
better have
I
you.
think it's look, I don't think everyone should go for a job to get fired, but in that vein of like you work your butt off, you've done some great work and you get fired, well maybe the cool girls do get fired
Yeah,
in some respects. I mean, I like part of the kind of core thesis of it, but I also liked this idea that don't get too attached to your job. Get attached to
because
what
that's your
you like.
identity within that job.
Yeah. Because you
It,
enjoy you have a lot of joy and pleasure from these different entities in your life that just all happen to be very creative.
for
Um,
sure, for sure.
Actually, taking it back a bit to the
Never
September
issue. Yeah.
issue. I'm like September edit, September
Listen.
issue.
Well, yeah, yeah.
So you talk about, pause and take inventory, something we all need to do. What's something you personally discovered in your own inventory that surprised you, delighted you, embarrassed you, anything you want to talk about?
Well, I will say being a brand founder, and I know you've been a brand founder, I actually l- got, I was, I took a pause.
Yeah.
So, not that I wanted to, but I will say, having founded a brand by myself, like bootstrap and done everything, and I mean, there's no one else except for someone who developed the website, but I even designed it, like everything,
It's incredible.
the website, all the photography, all the packaging, all the artwork, all the copy. I mean, everything I did myself. Then the Instagram while working for other brands and
How
doing
many
their,
hours a day do you work?
it was 7 days a week, all day, all night. And not to mention, then I had clients where I do their social media, their copy, their brand story, their creative direction, their photography. So at that time, I think I had three of those clients and then, but I was my full-time job, but I had three clients. So I just hit a wall last summer that was so hard where I was like catatonic, and I was truly catatonic. And like the universe, like one of my clients, she had a restaurant and she closed it. Another one, the where she was getting funds, it closed. So I kind of like, I would say I lost two clients. So it's kind of just me and then just my workout clients, my training clients, which that's the joy, that's the fun part. And it was just
Totally.
me and micropause. And I was like, oh, I hit a pause. So that when you say like what was a pause, I mean that was just the most sort of dramatic pause I've ever hit because I literally I would go to the pool. I have like a public pool that I have a membership, and I would post on Instagram, and people were like, "That's not you. Is that it? Is that fake?" I'm like, "No, I'm at the pool," because people know me as someone who does not stop working, and I'm like, "No, I can't move." So I took a really long pause, and like honestly, it's kind of going on. Like I've barely done any micropause Instagramming. I've definitely like slowed down. So I found the power in the pause. Like there's so much to there's so much to you have to take a breath. You have to
Yeah, and take care of yourself because I do find even if one does have a lot of energy, maybe we can't, or I'll just speak for myself, multitask as much as I used to. I
you
forget
can't.
things. My good friend from childhood invited me to this cocktail party on Thursday night, and she didn't send a reminder. Friends, hi doggy, it's okay. We're dog friendly here in Ageless Studios.
I'm
Um,
recording. Yeah.
so I forgot. I actually didn't even forget. The invite came through a text. She didn't send a reminder. That was like a week ago. And then on Friday, she's like, "Why didn't you show up?" And I was like,
I'm saying.
"I forgot." And I'm
Oh,
so sorry. And so that is just this reminder Like, oh, I need, this seems so basic, to write everything down. Back in the day, 3 years ago, I would have not forgotten. Today, I forget.
I got some of the lion's mane gummies. I will say they actually over time really help with memory. Like the functional mushrooms, they truly do support the memory and the brain fog. Like the inability to. I'm the same way though. By the way, if anyone has an event, you better text me 600 times
Yeah,
because I will.
yeah, just a reminder or two. You
Yeah,
know what? Maybe I have to try this Lions. I'm always up for currently I have like three different gummies in my drawer. I'm like, definitely, I like the gummies because they taste good. I'm just swallow them. I
and
can
you just won't forget them. Like they're so good. What I yeah.
Well, yeah, we need to talk about micropause. Whoa, there was a very weird noise outside tonight.
It was like a.
The dogs are, as Halloween is approaching. Maybe the ghosts are out or the owls
I know. Seriously. Wait, you don't have dogs outside when
are out. Wait, the owls came to Laurel Canyon last week and I stared at two in my backyard.
you
It was
shared an owl.
it was magical. I didn't move. I just stared at them. It was
My girlfriend has the family, they have a whole family of owls outside her house.
wait, that's amazing.
And she's
Okay,
always posting about them. She's like my friend Monet, they had babies. She's always posting about like it's very magical.
yeah, owls are magical. That is a definite another conversation. We should talk to Monet about owls. Okay, so you talk a lot, just to get back just for this, because it is interesting to me on this whole the pressure of recreating yourself. So I really like that you're like, I'm rejecting that. Like that's not what this is about.
It's like rejecting it, but I would say take a moment and do this. Like, so I made this it's like an identity edit. It's like, hold on, let's like look back. What are the stories I'm telling myself that I can't be and that I can't do before you can just hop on that bandwagon and start trying to reinvent and figure it out? We have to untangle some of our inherited, coding that we might not even be aware of. We're coded, you know?
We are
So
for
it's just
work.
a yeah, it's just like a little idea. It's not meant to be a profound. I would never say this is going to change your life. It's like something I kind of whipped up and I thought, oh, I'll offer this to people on Substack and I'll sell it. I don't know, just for fun and turn it into a course. I love talking about this stuff. I think it's really important.
Yeah, and you've lived a full life. You've lived many lives. You've lived them well and with joy, with purpose and with profit. Like that's that's what I would say. But that's also hard sometimes. There's the ebb and flow of being a creative. And so you
Oh,
have to
100%.
yeah, and that's kind of in next chapter and why I was excited to talk to you is how do you have purpose in all or most of what you do so you wake up in the morning and you actually want to get out of bed with some sort of spark and excitement about something. And what is that something?
Well,
And
you can ask yourself, yeah, sorry, go on.
no, but one thing I love is you definitely have proven that time and time again, and you merge creativity and wellness and fitness and health and spirituality and self-awareness. And how do you think all of those elements intersect in this next chapter of your own life in terms of work and personal and life in general?
I mean, the health and wellness, it's so funny. You see and you watch Instagram and you watch these like influencers and this and that with the health and wellness. Like it feels like so much work. It's such a brand, like it's kind of just part of my life. Like a girlfriend of mine was talking from childhood. She's like, I know, but don't your kids think that they see you doing this? I'm like, around in my pajamas. Like I'm not sitting here measuring spinach and chicken breasts. I'm a normal, like I'm eating ice cream, I eat chips. Like I don't it's just so much ingrained in who I am because I started so young on that stuff
Yeah.
that that's not I don't use it's not my person people kind of think it's my personality, but it's really not like that thing. But hold on. So how do I say the question again?
How do you intersect just because you're juggling micropause, the fitness, being a mother, which we haven't even talked about. You're juggling quite a few different elements. I don't even know what else. And then this new initiative. And so it's a lot. So I just wonder how
Oh,
you do.
because
Yeah.
that honestly, that's how my mind works best. And I was
Okay.
just reading that there's some people who they function at a high level with 10 tabs open. I am very facile. That's why a lot of startup internet, a lot of startup companies have hired me because I can really easily go from wear hat to hat. Like, hey, Em, can you just redo the website copy? Yeah. Hey, you know what? We need to shoot a video. Can you get out there and produce it? Done. You know, can you direct it? Good. Can you cast it? Done. Can you style it? Sure. Like I can, there's
Like,
nothing, I'm really
good
facile and
job
I
there.
move fast and I've got a producer head. Like I come from show business. My whole family's in the business. We've made so many films. I can think really quick on my feet, problem solve. Like there's nothing that can't be solved. Like my kids call me mommy magic. I'm like, oh, I'll mommy magic it.
I love that.
they don't worry about anything. I'm like, done. Mommy magic. I'll figure that out. Like, and I taught my son that. I'm like, AJ, you got to figure it out. Like he was trying to do a YouTube video, shoot this and shoot the camera, shooting the iPad, shooting the this. And I'm like, jerry rig it. I was like in bed. I'm like, watch out. Let me do it. Take this, take the clip, jerry rig it here, use the piano, shove it in here, take the I'm like, you got to think, you got to look around the room and you got to go, what can I use? You got to think like a producer because he's trying to like edit and do content. I'm like, you've got to
It's
see
so
what,
interesting though.
I'm
Think
like, you've
like
got to see what you've got.
what does
Yeah.
that mean to think like a producer from
It
Emily?
just means like problem solving, it's jerry rigging. It's like, how do you got to jerry rig and scan the space? Like, what's in the shot? Literally, like, as a metaphor and literally, like, scan the space. What's the story? What needs to be edited out? Know your audience. Who are you talking to? You know, know your, like, there's just a lot to learn from that kind of like scan the space.
But I also love that because it's part of also your background professionally in the
Right.
entertainment industry. And so,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, God, you have to be so thick-skinned and tough. I mean,
Yeah.
any kind of words of wisdom in that realm because you've done it well, done it successfully. I mean, you were telling me that you had the first YouTube show. Tell me the name of that again. So our
Motherhood Love. It's pretty funny. It's about like a single mom who goes on a J date, gets pregnant, and decides to stay with the guy, but they're a total mismatch. She's a performance artist, he's a numbers guy, and they try to make it work with a new baby. And she doesn't know what she's like the Larry David of
I
moms.
think you bring it back. It's going to be a throwback. I mean, now with YouTube, I think you bring it back. We're going to have to throw the link in there because I want to watch it.
Oh,
It
I mean,
looks-
it's not bad, but I will say like so I was on a TV show for 15 years, right? And
Which one? CS size.
ER.
ER, that's right. Sorry.
CSI, but that's funny. I
ER.
pronounced CSI. So it's on here. And the cool thing about ER was that I was a paramedic, and the scenes that I was doing were called oneers,
Okay.
meaning one shot. It's a long oneer. And these were so orchestrated, blood spurting, ambulance running, people flying, hundreds of people in the scene at once, lines going fast, the stars, the this moving in action, moving. And the pressure was literally insane. It was NBC. It was the hottest show on the air at the time.
Forever for 15 years or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there was a time when it was really hot. So you had executives there behind the director's chairs, everyone watching, and they would go action. And I was usually ushering in the action. Doris Pickman jumping out of the thing, Doris jumps out, ambulance. The pressure and the lines were crazy. They're not language. It's like circling the drain, BP 120, things that we don't say. So I would say the pressure of that and everything that I had to hold was like that was the most incredible microcosm of kind of like how I do life. You can hold all this pressure and hold everyone's responsibility on the set. I had this act. If I messed up one beat, if I messed up my line, I think I messed up twice in 15 years. And they had to go back to one. I don't know. I don't even understand how much money it is to go back to one when you're doing a oneer. It takes hours to set up. People were wet with blood, dry. You know what I'm saying? Those were not shots that could go
These
back to one.
runners.
So I learned in that moment how to I'd be watching like watching those directors. And by the way, it was like Quentin Tarantino, like the most amazing directors would come guest direct,
Love it.
and watching how they held this with such a sense of calm and ease despite my high energy. That's just like my personality. You
Yeah.
have to have such an inner compass of a sense of control, ease, and that if it doesn't work out, you're calm AF. You can problem solve. By the way, keeping high energy is a great sort of cheerleader.
I agree with that. I think keeping high energy and I learned not only that, but also a higher frequency on life in this crazy world
That's
we
what I mean. Yeah, high
yeah,
frequency, but
it's so important, even if I don't feel it. And I tell, I think, I have teenage daughters. I tell them this all the time, rise to a higher frequency. It will save you. Because if you just don't get caught up in this day-to-day ridiculousness, you will always be better for it. And you're focusing more on protecting yourself and your thoughts and
and
yeah,
keeping your
bound-
ego out and like your story and like listening to other people's story and especially if you're working with clients like you kind of just have a sense of steady calm and exuberance and I feel like you can kind of hold the show, hold the boat. I hope that makes sense. I don't
no,
even know
no,
what the question was.
well, you also, there's not even, we're past the question, way past the
I know,
question.
but you were saying like how do you hold all these things and I'm like it's
Doing
like
it well. I mean, it's also who you are because when I listen to you, I think you come to life with these different activities and these different roles and these different jobs and they intersect beautifully. And like you said, it's not like you're dabbling. You're doing them and you're doing them well and you're doing them successfully. I don't think a lot of people understand that you put everything into each of these. And that's the real differentiator with you and a lot of others, and I give you
just starting to own it. Trust me. I
yeah.
I would have never been like, yeah, I do them and I'm good. I would never. I would have not even said I did them all. That kind of just came to me like during the pandemic. I did a
Yeah,
talk like
well,
this
I'm
about
glad
like really
it's a good
so
we need to self-talk in such a I used to be like, oh, that's so woo-woo, all this self-talk about saying
like
nice
putting
things to
yourself down. Yes.
but oh my God, if we're putting ourselves down, it's only going to get worse from there. Like we have to be nice to ourselves and we also have to live well. Like living well can mean many things to many people, but just being good to ourselves first and
Yeah.
foremost. You mentioned something, and I'm actually looking at a message you sent me, and I just want to understand this. And I thought we would close on this because it sounded really beautiful to me, but I wanted to hear your iteration of it. This reminder that the season of life might be less about recreating ourselves and more about finally letting ourselves take up the full page. Can you elaborate on that a bit? I just love that.
I mean, I feel like it's kind of what we talked about, taking up space this all just really comes from my authentic truth, my personal story. Like I would have never said, I'd be like, yeah, I kind of like do some paintings or like yeah, like I don't know, I did like a
It's
little web
kind of
series.
like showed
I
at
would have like mumbled it and
the
now
hammer
I'm just
down.
like, oh my god, take up space, own it. Like the self-deprecation is like cute, maybe like on a like flirty date, like just own it and be proud and like show it off. Like why do we have to hide it and just like, do you know what I mean?
A
So,
hundred
yeah,
percent.
and I do think that everyone there's so many parts of ourselves that we have tucked away. The question is, I forgot to mention this earlier. I think a really fun exercise, I should have put this in my workbook, and I think I will. If you woke up tomorrow and you won the lottery or whatever, you had bazillions, gazillions, gazillions, what would you do? Besides, oh, I would give charity. I'm not talking about what would you do with the money. I mean, like, what would you do? If you're like, just travel and have croissants, great. Or, oh my God, I would build an art studio. I'd paint all day. Oh my God, I'd write my novel. I might go to Italy and write my novel. Like, what would you do? Those pings are like profound. When you take that pressure off,
Yeah, they don't
it's,
cost any money to daydream or to work on
yeah.
maybe making some of them a reality. No, I think that's good. I think if you can take away fear or finances from a lot of how we operate in our day to day, that will clear so much mental block. And easier said than done, of course.
I mean, I know because it's just
I
we all
mean,
think so practically. I mean that
one job I got laid off, thank God, or fired, however you want to call it. And they every day there'd be like, how much money are you bringing in? Let's look at your not every day. Every Thursday they would say, what are your numbers? What are you bringing in?
scary.
And if it wasn't at least a 20%, let's just say a 20% increase, they would be like, what are you going to do to get to that number? And it became such a performance marketing role that was a creative role that I started to not I lost my creativity. It's like what you said, like a burnout is real because I was so concerned on making this company money that wasn't even mine. I just lost track of these creative campaigns. I was doing creative marketing and strategy that I lost track of what I was supposed to be doing because I was so concerned on the
And it
financial
becomes
part.
like Frankenstein. You're
That's
like,
exactly right.
what,
And that was a
what am I doing?
huge lesson I learned on, depending on what your role is. I wasn't a performance marketer. I was a creative marketing director at the time, and I'll never forget that I had this boss that was like money, 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 and I was definitely bringing in enough money for the company, but you really do learn on what, and some would totally be able to rock and roll with that directive, but not me. I think it is interesting how we also thrive in groups and all that stuff, but
Totally.
yeah, we could have many conversations. Emily, thank you on this
It was
evening. I
amazing.
love
So
it. I
fun.
love talking to you, and I can't wait
Too.
for part two on the January course as well in 2026. And I will put it all in the info, and I will talk to you soon.
Amazing.
Thank you for this time.
Okay.
All right,
Bye. I'm just going to hang up or you're going to hang up. Okay.
bye. Bye.